3, 2, 1. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another lab session. You've got me, Bing, you've got him,
Chris,
and we're about to bring you some goodness for another... What day is it today? Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening. How are you, Chris?
I'm very well, thank you.
What you been up to?
Not much. Just on my health journey. Trying to get that under wraps. Bit of exercise, bit of movement. Nothing too crazy. Picking and choosing what I'm eating. Trying to make the best decision. It's clearly not working at the moment, but we're trying. We're moving.
Is this some of the moving and shaking that we showed Junior Far last week?
Huh?
There's a bit of a punching, boxing video that...
Yeah, there's a bit of that.
Okay.
Moving is moving, man.
Moving is moving.
Try and help me for that shit.
No. I'm just saying, it was hilarious when you showed him. How did you really feel about when Junior started laughing at your... Was he laughing at your video or at your form or at your attempt?
I like to think he was laughing at it was a humorous moment between us three, and it wasn't more so my form.
Okay.
But
I did say some good things about you though, in that you were very light on your feet.
Oh yes,
and he called you Poppy. Was it Poppy or Hoppy or
something like that? But no, I felt really privileged to show him some of my stuff. Show him some of the stuff I've been working on.
Did you DM him after and ask for a one-on-one session? PT?
A one-on-one?
Nah,
he didn't. Nah, it's good. It was good love.
Very good.
Honestly, man, I don't know if we need a disclaimer, but in no way, because I feel like we're writing this role play, but in no way do I claim or think that I have any type of experience, form, or anything.
What?
In boxing.
Oh, in boxing, okay.
But street fighting though, shit.
What?
Shit, bro.
Still nothing.
Shit, what you talking about,
Still
bro?
nothing.
Shit. You ain't... Bro, you know my record?
No.
1-0.
Which side is the one on? Is it on the right side?
Yeah, my wins.
Okay, against who?
I don't know his name. It's the streets, man. You ain't know someone their name on the streets. Stick to the streets. Anyway, man, I'm good. How you been?
I've been very good. I'm dropping my girls off tonight to Slipknot.
Oh,
you know Slipknot?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so they're at Slipknot right now, and I'm waiting to go get them in here all about it. Is it death metal or heavy metal, or kind of thrash metal or something? But it's that heavy, distorted, but not so much there. I was very interested to hear that some of their songs actually have some nice harmonies and some nice melodies in the middle, as long as you push past some of the stuff that we aren't exactly accustomed to.
Do they sing this song? Angels deserve to die.
How dare you?
What?
No, they don't. Even I know them. System of a Down.
Oh, they're gone to Korn.
They're gone to Slipknot. I made the same mistake earlier on in the piece.
Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't. Not familiar.
Is it Sergei Tankiv or something? I forgot his name, but he's the lead singer for
the Black
System
dude?
of a Down.
Oh no, I'm thinking of that.
System of a Down. The Arabian-looking dude with the pointy beard.
Yeah.
He lives in New Zealand.
I think I know that.
Somewhere.
Yo,
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm hoping to bump into him.
Like when your bands meet, like in the band music
on the circuit. Yeah. No, I don't think he does music in New Zealand. Every music I've seen him do is back overseas.
True, it's probably his getaway.
Yeah. You know who else lives in New Zealand? James Cameron.
Yes.
I think I knew. I wasn't sure, but I saw him being interviewed by
in South
Paddy Gower
Island?
recently.
South Island?
Is it?
I think so.
But that's cool. No, Wellington. Because he was talking about how cool Wellingtonians are, and one of his favourite interactions with Kiwis is when they walk up to him and say, "Hey, Jim," and keep walking. Like
True.
No fanfare, but also some acknowledgement, but the same acknowledgement that they'd give their fellow Kiwi, and he thinks that's cool.
He likes their lifestyle.
Yeah, I stopped listening to the interview when he started talking about being pro-Trump and things like that.
Is he? Interesting.
Very
A lot of
interesting.
people are though.
Yeah. But, we don't want to get into politics. I told you weren't allowed to support Trump on this podcast.
Things change.
Like the podcast or who you support?
Things.
But yeah, so I took my girls out there. Another thing that happened recently was we went and saw the opening or the open month of the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints
Wow,
temple,
yes.
aka the Mormon temple. We talked a little bit about it last week with Junior. But I went to see it, and man, was it grand. Was it ever. Took my missus, took my daughter. Some of our work peeps came, and we got taken through by some of the volunteers of the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints. Yeah, people say you shouldn't call... They don't like being called Mormon anymore, but Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints is kind of a mouthful.
Wait, for real now. I thought there was a different type of religion, Latter-day Saints, to Mormon.
No.
I thought Latter-day Saints was more like Seventh-day. Is this another different?
My understanding is that they are one and the same. Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints reference the Mormon Bible or the Book of Mormon.
Right.
So the same Bible that most Christian churches use, and the extra book called the Book of Mormon, which is why they're known as Mormons. But that's not all they believe in terms of, like, they believe in the whole Bible. So if they're called Mormons, then everyone else should be called Bibles, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
But man, it was so cool. Before you went in, you had to have like a hairnet, but for shoes. What are they called? Shoe covers?
Shoe sock.
Shoe sock. And they had volunteers like sitting on the ground waiting for people to walk up, and they'd put these shoe covers on your shoes. So you didn't have to take off your shoes to go in the temple, but you needed to wear these things. And as soon as they said it, I was like, watch this. This is going to be the biggest feat these people have seen. And but no. It was fine. They had special big sizes for me.
Nice.
Put it in and walked through, and yeah, all I can say is that it was grand. The what do you say instead of Mormons? Give me a word to use right now.
The temple people.
The temple people were so warm. They were so welcoming. They were so informative. When they didn't know the answers to some of our questions, they told us they didn't know. We went in through the front, and then we ended up finishing on the side, or to all the rooms, the baptism room, the sealing room, the teaching room, I forgot that was called, the changing rooms, the bridal room, all the way up into the celestial room. And this is a representation of God the Father. And this is where you go to have quiet time and to hear from the Lord. And not everyone is allowed in there. You have to have completed your ordinances, I believe was what they told me. But because the temple hadn't been dedicated yet, the public were allowed in to have a look at these things. And that was probably the biggest letdown of all, as all the rooms were so beautifully immaculate in their design and their purpose that I thought the celestial room was going to be like a grand ballroom of pure white silk, curtains, lace dressings,
like
golden
Beauty and the Beast,
candlesticks.
the waltz room,
Yeah.
where they do that, like something like that.
Yeah. And it wasn't. The room was probably, 6 by 4 meters. The ceiling was about 6 meters high. And it just looked like every other room. There was nothing special about it. There wasn't, like if you go to other religions, they'd have like a shrine in the middle where you'd go and lean up against and pray. Or there'd be a picture of Mother Mary and candles that you could light. The room was just a big wooden heavy-ass table in the middle with a beautiful bouquet of flowers and furniture strewn about the room. Yeah, so I mean, I can imagine how it would be nice and peaceful in there. But in terms of calling it a representation of God the Father. But the temple people were fantastic. The whole experience was awesome and gave us a lot to talk about as a family afterwards.
Who'd you go with? Just your family?
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's about learning more about my fellow human, being open to other experiences and what the humans are experiencing in their own lives and in their own walks. And no one is ever going to get a chance to go in the temple again once they dedicate it.
No.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's
It's
super cool.
very cool. I enjoyed it. I'd give the whole experience probably a 9 out of 10.
That's great.
Yeah. The only reason it doesn't get a 10 is because the Celestial room was a little bit underwhelming. There was no food. And
No food?
yeah. And there's another one. I forgot. Oh, and because it was kind of a conversion outreach for the temple people.
They recruiting.
They were recruiting. We had to watch a 15.
Yeah, everyone's trying to spread the good word, right?
We had to watch a 15-minute video about their temple and why it was important to them, and it told us a lot of things about the religion and what they believe in. And the script that all the temple people were sharing for each part of the room was word for it. Because I found one of the scripts in one of the rooms I was in. I think they must have left it behind, and I picked it. Was laminated, and it had the heading, the title of each room, and what each room's purpose is.
Wow.
And I wanted to take it with me, and my king, like, Albert music, don't leave it. Someone's probably going to come back for it. And I go, no, this doesn't belong here. It's obviously out of place.
Yeah.
They forgot it.
You didn't steal from a temple.
I wasn't stealing. I was going to use it to inform the rest of my tour, because I found it right at the beginning in the very when we were watching the video. After the video, it was our time to go into the temple.
Right.
But the people in the next room had finished their video before us, so they went first, so we had to wait for them to clear the hallway before we could go. So we had another 5 minutes in that room, and everyone was walking around and looking at the walls and the paintings, and I went straight over to the piano, and I peered just over the edge of the piano, and there was a laminated sheet of paper that was just about to fall down. And I pulled it out, and it
Was
was
it like
the
someone's cue cards? Or was it
Yeah.
like word for word their presentation?
script. Word for word, the presentation.
Oh.
And then, like, the brief 30 seconds I was looking at it, I heard each of the rooms say,
Really?
yeah,
Hey, they're organized.
very organized. I mean, if you're going to represent our church, you have to represent it the way we want it represented.
That's true.
Yeah. And yeah, we're now for a nice big feed, some smoked meats. Sent you a video of that. Very good. Otherwise, yeah, leading up to tonight's recording, I didn't ask your permission, but I went on our Instagram and I posted an Ask Me Anything story.
And we got nothing?
I thought it would, I'd done it for a laugh, and I put up a couple of examples of silly questions, like, when are you guys just going to stop doing the podcast, please? No one really wants to hear it, and things like that. And I thought people were going to take the piss. But, Chris, we got 22 responses.
What?
We got 22 responses, and almost all of them can be read out on air.
Have you gone through all of them?
Not all of them.
I'm a little bit anxious.
So I don't know if you can see, and I don't want to out the people that have responded, but those are all the responses there. And I'm going to pick a few, and I'm going to read them to you right now, and you have to answer them off the top of your head as fast as you can. Recommend your favorite song.
Babyface, Eric Clapton.
Right now, that's your buzz?
Change the
I
world.
heard you singing it in the bathroom. Why?
It just came to me as I was driving here.
It's a great...
Collab. One of
Yeah.
the great collabs.
Yeah. Some of them, Eric Clapton sings the whole thing. Some of them, Babyface sings with them.
I didn't realize that, but I did when I was going on Spotify, and I was like, "Yo, where's Babyface at?"
Yeah.
And then, but nah,
And
nevertheless,
the guitaring is cool. It's also from the movie Phenomenon
yeah,
with John T.
something like it. Yeah,
Yeah. My favorite song. So we were talking about, here's something else that you and I are going to look at in a future episode. Someone said, after our top 5 Tongan athletes, our top 5 Samoan athletes, someone messaged through on our TikTok and said, you guys should do the top 5 fattest bass lines of all time. And I was like, cool. Send me yours, and then I'll show you mine.
like slapping the bass.
Yeah.
Ooh,
And then I was doing some research and looking up some fat bass lines that I knew, and then going to songs recommended from those songs, and I stumbled across this band called Average White Band, who were a funk band from the 70s from Scotland, and they play a song called, I think it was Pick Up the Pieces, but that song slapped. I'll send it to you after this. Pick Up the Pieces, it has to be Pick Up the Pieces, I can't remember correctly, by Average White Band. Funky as, if I didn't tell you they were white, if their name wasn't white, you'd think it was It was Earth, Wind and Fire or something.
Right.
What do you
So,
What do you think about OnlyFans and its impact on society? That's very deep.
can I see who's seen these? Well, I can check them out. Okay. Do you know that person?
No.
Anyway, great question. Awesome question.
What do I think about OnlyFans? Firstly, it's not designed to be a corn thing, right?
A what thing?
Corn.
Oh. Not-
It's
it
it's
ca-
just become that.
Yeah, it has the capacity to be that.
Yeah. So while I haven't experienced it yet, in my mind, it's a corn website, and I try to stay as far away from those things as possible. Its impact on society, I think, is quite positive. It allows people to make an alternative revenue stream. People that never thought they could make the kinds of money that they're making, and they're doing it online for feet pics and doing funny things with peanut butter. And what do you think about OnlyFans and its impact on society?
Yeah, I agree with everything you've just said.
Piggyback on mine. Make up
But-
your own mind.
But I didn't think of it as much of it as corn as you thought. I thought of it more personalized content subscription.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then corn's just has the capacity to do that, and that market is allowed to be a part of it. Is a part of that. But you just kind of condemn them by saying it's all corn and stay away from it.
Yeah,
As a website. First of all, you call it a website, you old ass.
What is it? An app?
OnlyFans.
Yeah.
It's a subscription system. Started with Instagram,
Oh. Is there an app?
Meta.
An
I don't know.
OnlyFans
I haven't gone that far there.
Also, because I remember Izzy Adesanya, he had an OnlyFans back in the day.
Really?
Yeah. And it was just more videos of him personally doing personal trainings and hanging out with them, like a daily vlog thing that you could pay for. And
That's it.
Yeah, it was difficult for me to reconcile the two, being a daily vlog and a corn website. Best island food or best place to get island food? Right here, my house. Got
Yeah.
you.
Ask Junior Far.
Got you.
You know about that also?
Is your refrigerator running? I think this person ran out of questions.
Or they can hear the refrigerator running.
Can you hear the refrigerator running in the background of our episodes? Interesting. Here's one for
Good
you.
stuff, though.
It said, ask this to Chris. What are your thoughts on the LGBTQ fafa community in New Zealand? Who are you? Who even are you to ask these questions?
Can I see who said that?
The top right. What are your thoughts on the LGBTQ and fafa community in New Zealand?
Yeah. I know about it. What are my thoughts on it? In what way? Like,
Right?
yeah, like, how do you come at that question?
Like, what are your thoughts on the Baha'i faith?
I'm not privy to.
Okay, what are your thoughts on the National Party?
Oh.
Yeah, like, I know they exist.
Good and bad.
What are your thoughts on the LGBTQ and fafa community in New Zealand? Imagine I was asking this question, and I want to say now, what are your thoughts on what's been happening recently with the Destiny Church riots, for lack of a better term, at the West Auckland Public Library and down the line at the Pride Parade?
Yeah, I did catch a glimpse of that. I generally not try to, but my algorithm stays away from politics and protests and that, but some of it's pretty important. If we're talking about that one in particular, off the bat, peaceful protest is okay. Some of what happened there was evidently and obviously pretty violent, and I didn't stand for that. We didn't stand for that, regardless of what you're protesting about.
Very good.
So that's what my thought is.
Cool. Oh, what do you think about the National Party and the current government? Yeah, I'm not sure I want to get into that, but I feel like the current government is a rich person's government.
Agreed.
What does that mean, though?
It means if you make a certain amount of money, that's obviously, if you make a lot of money at a certain amount, you will be okay and you will benefit from the
this.
current government. And one last thing I want to add to that one. Again, I don't get into politics, but one thing that hits home is these lunches. You heard about the lunches? These lunches into schools. Last government, they rolled it out. Big success, great feedback. New fellas in.
And the lunch has been terrible.
Terrible. There's some sickness. There's some no-shows. My kids' schools had to cover them by purchasing thousands of dollars worth of Subway.
Mm-hmm.
Very disruptive. The lunches are yuck. It can't be good, guys.
But is that a people problem or a process problem? You know what I mean? Like, we could have all the best intentions with the lunches, but because people are still in charge, it's always going to fall over. There's always going to be a problem with it. Like, that happened at your kids' school and maybe 50 other schools in the country. But how many schools is it actually working for? So the process is right, but the people that are involved in the process around your kids' school and my kids' school might be the ones dropping the ball. Do we then poo-poo the whole school lunch idea?
Yeah, you're right. But I don't think that's the case.
Okay.
There's schools all over the country that have
Suffering.
made certain complaints. There's a bit of a trend going on, so you can't say all these schools all over the country are dropping the ball at the same time over the same thing.
Not the. Is it the schools running the lunches? I thought it was an external provider.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Which is what we're talking to.
but then I'm these conversations don't affect me as much as they used to because I'm now the dad of two adults, no longer in school.
I can't wait for that.
Yes, sir. This person's still super serious. What's your thoughts on abortion docs?
Oh,
Does that give it away? What's your thoughts on abortion docs? Abortion doctors? Or abortion?
how do they spell docs?
DOX.
Oh, so it's not the peer.
Okay.
I think that's a Tongan
Person?
reference
Or are they
word.
referencing you as a Tongan? Maybe they're sending these questions to Junior Fa. They think he's going to be here today.
We can send them through.
What are your thoughts on abortion docs? It's getting a bit heavy in here.
Yeah, but what I will say is I've never had one before, so I can't speak to that. If I ever go through that type of experience or be fronted with that opportunity or option, I'll be sure to make some notes and bring them forth.
Cool. What do you think about our youth vaping and how would you counter it?
Government. It's the government. The youth, yep. Youth are always going to be stupid. They're influenced by everything. Ultimately, the government influence and allow these products in the country. They tax them, get a lot of money by it, so they make the calls. In terms of the youth, it all starts at home. If they don't have a good home, they don't have good choices. I quit vaping, by the way. That's
Very
why
good.
I'm high and mighty now.
Very good.
You dirty vapist.
Here's an interesting one. What are your nicknames and how did you get them? My nickname. What's my nickname?
You got many. Can I tell them?
Yeah.
Big Boss.
Big Boss. Yeah. People often get it wrong. It's actually two bigs.
It depends what circle. Like from me, I only refer to you the Big Boss.
Okay.
They'll put a the. I've seen some people refer to you with the double big.
Yeah.
And it depends how much they, not respect, but how they see you.
Or how kind of, okay. How did I get that name? By being big and being a boss.
It couldn't be more accurate.
Okay. Your nickname, one of your nicknames is Myths.
Yes.
How did we get Myths? I actually tell a story about how I believe myths.
Let's get it.
You tell me first, or I tell you first?
First of all, it's myths. MEFS, not TH.
Okay.
Who you gonna tell me?
We worked together. We worked together back in the day at a distribution warehouse in Wiri, and there was an old Samoan man who worked the line with us, and he would call you Cristo instead of Christopher.
Instead of Chris.
Instead of Chris, he'd say "Se malo Cristo,"
Cristo.
as if like giving you a slang name, which was Cristo, and then the boys started calling you Cristo. And at the same time was the rising of the
epidemic.
Class A drug, the epidemic of crystal meth. And so your name started becoming crystal meth, Cristo, and meth, and then plural meths, and then the standard South Auckland accent turning the TH into an F, meths. So you were crystal meths, and then eventually the crystal got dropped, and you just became myths.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mouthful. So myths.
Is that correct?
Yeah, that's definitely.
Do you remember the old Samoan man I'm talking about?
I do.
How long? We were maybe 30, 25.
I think I was 16 because that was my holiday job before going back for my 7th form.
Second year?
No. I just done one. One was enough for me.
Okay. Is that how it came to be?
Yes, that's definitely one of the stories.
What's another story?
Growing up, my favorite action movie was this action movie called RoboCop, and his actual name in that movie, his character, is Murphy. And I used to run around the house as a toddler, Murphy, I'm Murphy. And again, as Islander people do, they Islanderize names. So instead of Murphy, I became Miffy, and eventually into Myths. So growing up, I was RoboCop and Myths.
I've never ever heard that one.
What?
That sounds like an absolute crock.
Didn't I tell you that one?
RoboCop?
You know I love RoboCop, right?
Not that much. Here's one. Why the Blues? Tell us a little something about your relationship supporting the Auckland Blues.
Do we know that guy?
Yes. It's a little bit easier to talk about this now, coming off the back of the championship. Granted, we're not doing very well in the current competition with 1 win and 3 losses.
Yeah.
But tell us about your relationship with the Blues. Why do you support the Blues so heartily?
I grew up as many did. My father was rugby crazy, brought up in Auckland. Auckland is our team.
And we also grew up in the golden era of Blues rugby.
100%.
Run off some names, top of your head. Go.
Ofisa Tunu'u.
Yes.
Michael Jones.
Yes.
Jonah Lomu.
Yes.
Aroni Clark.
Yes.
Your turn. Go.
Carlos Spencer. I thought that would have been your first name.
Yeah.
Carlos Spencer. Adrian Cashmore.
Rickelman.
Lee Stensness.
Olo.
Blowers. But say full name.
Oh, I thought you were asking me something. Yo.
Blowers.
Stop it.
Back in the days, the 90s Blues, the first...
Fitzy.
Oh, Fitzy. Yeah, heaps of them. But we grew up in the golden era of Blues rugby, and everybody was Blues crazy, and we inherited the Blues craziness in our blood, in our hearts, and unfortunately, by the time we became old enough to put our physical bodies and minds and money behind the team, we couldn't produce the same results. But that's how supporting a team works.
Yeah.
For the good times and the bad, the happiest times and the sad, for you.
Also, I like how you said that, because this is just a reminder to all these, I don't even know what the cutoff age is, but you get to an age where you have to choose. You know what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
You have to choose, whether that's a country, origin, a league team. You can choose whatever team. You can be influenced by whatever team. But whatever team you choose, you stick to your team. You don't change your team. Ever.
What's your favorite podcast you have done and why? What's your favorite podcast you have done and why? Do you have a favorite episode? Our Junior Far ones have been great. Remember Big Ben from the ASB, he was one of our first big names we got on the to sit on the casting couch. The lab kids couch.
Casted him.
And he was great, telling us, because we're also quite close, familial relationship with Big Ben. So it was interesting to see what the dynamic would be like once the lights, once the cameras, once everything was on, if we could either recreate the banter with the boys or if we could produce something worthy enough for those that don't know us to find interesting.
Wow, I like how you put that, because I'm with you every word you just said. And it's something I didn't even think about at the time. And thinking about to that episode now. It was a cool episode. It's probably my favorite, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But you're right. Was it our natural us? Yeah, lights on, camera action, which is crazy, especially for you two, because you guys have performed on stages together. So in a sense, you have been in this space, but different.
Yeah.
That's probably why it didn't occur to me at the time, because I've never done this type of shit. I'm not a performer or anything. So as soon as we hit record, I only know one way.
You definitely are a performer. We also had our very first guest, which was Mr. CrossFit himself.
Oh, yes.
Reti Simanu, who also was a part of the last few episodes with the top 5 Samoan athletes of all time. He was the one that sparked it up.
He had a great list too.
And we recorded inside for that one on the table. It was very early on in our podcast career. Maybe the first season too, eh? The very first season of the Labkids podcast, we had Ritty on, and we still weren't sure what kind of podcast we wanted to be. Whether we wanted to be a full-on, hard-hitting journalist interviewing, diving to the depths of your soul kind of podcast, or a kickback, talk shit, make it up as you go kind of podcast. And I think now, after almost 3 years of doing this, we kind of almost found our niche down the middle of the road somewhere.
3 years?
This is season 3, Kaz.
Sorry.
You can tell who's in charge of all the admin.
Thanks, Jamie.
Tell us about a cringe recording moment you've had. A cringe recording moment you've had. In the lead up to Junior Far coming back on, I re-listened to our first interview with Junior Far, and I cringed my whole way through that interview. I was such a fanboy. I was trying too hard. My questions were too focused. I didn't allow enough room for the conversation to breathe on its own and follow the conversation as it goes, rather than trying to bring it back to because I'd prepared so much. I had notes, and I needed at the time to make sure my notes were addressed, and I listened back to it, and I was like, ugh, he's such an amateur. Do you have any cringe?
You know why? When you said that, that's a testament and a reason why I never be organized.
What?
But if you don't organize, it will prioritize quality.
If you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Cool. That got me puzzled.
Who's your dream interviewee and why?
Interviewee. That felt a bit cringy. We're not like interviewers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you mean. Thanks.
Who would you like to sit on the couch with you? And also, do I want to say this out loud and put it into the universe?
Yes. Somebody's asked. Somebody took time out of the day to ask this great question. They deserve an answer.
couple of Kiwis I'd like to interview, and I've said this before. Or not interview. I'd like to shoot the breeze with. Is old Anika Moore.
Oh, you did.
More recently, Elvis Lopetti.
Oh, yo. He looks like a good time, eh?
Yeah. Is that a pause, or I don't know how to use that reference? Or is that a no diddy? Or did he no? Homo. I don't know. Who would you love to have on the Labkids lab session?
Probably a common one he's getting around now is probably Joe Damon.
Joey D.
He looks like a...
I don't know why I said it like that. Joey D.
Pause. He looks like a good chat.
And a good chap.
Hey, we checked out one of his shows as well, eh?
Oh, yes, we did.
And hey, hey, that was our first time.
Joey D, my man. I can't wait to talk to you because the follow up.
Bro, it was cool. It was, you know what it was? It was not the exact same, but it was the same premise that you went to the Latter-day Saints place, and I went to this, let's call it like a comedy shop gym workout. This is how they flex. This is how they practice their stuff. And I've never been in that environment before.
We went and saw Joey D on separate nights. Chris went on his own, I went on my own. And we went to see Joey D as he performed in a garage basement in Manurewa in South Auckland. Tickets were $10, $15, super cheap. The garage, it was a blackened out garage with a small stage.
It was at Hitters, shout out Hitter.
Poppy's Comedy.
Yeah.
And Joey D doesn't have his full show ready to go yet. And I've known from my years of watching comedy shows is that comics normally hone their craft through multiple little shows leading up to their main show. They would go and do 5 minutes at an unknown theatre club, comedy club. They'd do 10 minutes here, 5 minutes there, see what the audience like, build on it, and then when it comes time for their big show, they got their jokes ready to go. That's what this was. Joey D and a few of his mates all came together. His mates done 5, 10, 15 minutes each. Some people that were new to the comedy scene, some people that have been around for a little while. And then Joey D finished it off, and he just ran through a whole list of jokes that he had written, see which ones were funny, see which ones he could explore more, and see which ones that kind of fell flat and let go. And yeah, for what it was, cheap, garage, multiple comics, and then seeing Joey D at the end, it was great. For what I expected, I expected something a little more polished. But then, as Chris said, this is where they go to do the polishing. So if you want to see polished, you got to pay the proper money, go to the proper show, and see the bro.
Get that polish.
Yeah. Do you want to polish Joey D?
Maybe. No.
When you played rugby, what position did you play? I was prop. I was a prop second five.
Did you say you were a prop second times? 2 times?
I was a prop 5.
5.
Yeah, I was played prop 5 times.
Total. Yeah, second 5. I was a second 5, a winger, flanker. I'm terrible at all of them.
I told my missus recently that I played my last club rugby game about 15 years ago with you and Bob with the North Shore Evergreens.
The Wales?
The Wales, North Shore Wales. I thought it was the Evergreens.
Oh, I don't know. But yeah, I remember that. It was like Prezzies or seniors or Prezzies.
Something, yeah.
Was that 15?
Yeah, it was. I stopped. I played my last game and then started my current job at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah. And she's like, what? You played rugby that recently? A lot happened over the last few years.
A lot can happen in a short amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Babies can be made. What you got next?
When was your last club game?
Oh,
Real Scorps? Did you play after that?
Rewa
League.
Marlins. Did you say Scorps?
Yeah, the Black Scorps. What did we...
Rewa Blacks.
Rewa Blacks.
Yeah, senior B team or something. I think so. Yeah. Bit of league. Probably the last time I've.
10 years?
Wow, that sounds long. I mean, it is.
It is, 10 years.
That's crazy.
When we were still at the lab.
I think it might be 12, 13. But yeah.
What is the best thing about being Samoan? I think this question is unfair.
For who?
For everyone that isn't Samoan. No. Because I got nothing to compare it to. So when I was Samoan, I enjoyed it because of this. But now that I'm...
But see, the way you read that, the way you're taking on that question is a comparison all the time. Why do you have to compare? You're a representation of a bit of society that's very bad and toxic at times. It's always a comparative mindset, like, I'm doing this, but it's not as good as that guy, or my one's shittier to that guy's one, or, you know what I mean? Why can't you just... They ask, what's the best thing about being Samoan? Think of the best things about you and your family and your experience about being Samoan, and that's the answer. Stop comparing it to me, who's like half Portugal.
I really love the Samoan culture, especially the performance culture. One of my cousins is performing at the Christchurch Polyfest. And
Pep.
it's next week. And I got a call on the weekend saying, hey, we need some she's the taupo actually too, which is the main dancing girl for the Samoan culture. The maiden is normally the daughter of the chief, the prized position of the village that gets to dance this particular dance, and you're known as the taupo. And they don't have any traditional Samoan garb for her to wear. The headdress, the necklace, the dress, the accessories, yeah.
That's crazy.
And so they rang me and asked me to help. Because you know how that's what I do.
You know what they say? Make one ulalole. You can make it anything.
And so I reached out to a few of my contacts and got into some conversations with different people, and we found something for her to wear. And went and done the fitting with my daughter, was helping to make sure that the offals fit nicely for my cousin, and done the fitting yesterday. Then I'm picking it up next Thursday, dropping it to the airport. Someone from Christchurch is coming up, gonna pick up the stuff off me, jump straight on the next plane, go back to Christchurch, give it to her to wear for their Fia night, that night, on Thursday, and then Friday's break, and then Saturday is the Polyfest.
Wow.
Yeah. Talk about clutch, right?
That's
so I was
cool.
asking if you guys were going.
Yeah.
For someone to take it. Otherwise, I was going to go. But the Samoan culture, the performance culture, the songs, the singing. Oh, I saw the movie Tina recently. Have you?
Oh, no.
Oh, because you're not about the culture.
I just can't afford movie tickets yet. I'm poor.
I thought you watch it on the line. On the interwebs.
Who's that?
Every day.
Sometimes.
But that was good. But I don't know if I like it because it's a Samoan movie with Samoan people on the Palangi screen and the Palangi medium. But it was awesome.
Sorry.
Why did you start a podcast? Does that sound...
Are you asking it how they wanted to ask? Ask it a different way. Let's see what's up.
Why did you start a podcast?
Yeah, that's an interview one. And ask it the first time.
Why did you start a podcast? Why did you start a podcast?
Wait.
Why did you start a podcast?
Who said I started it? Why? How do you think they're asking it the first way?
The most non-malicious way possible.
Oh, okay.
I always believe that everyone wants the best for us.
Wow. That is naivety in its purest.
Okay. Why did you start a podcast, Chris? And I think we've talked about this before.
Shit, I never thought about the why. It was just, it felt right. Let's do it. Why are you laughing at me?
It felt right.
Yeah, that's how
What I recall is you and I were having a conversation on the phone. I was driving, and we were catching up, and we were talking about a podcast we listened to recently. I can't even remember who or what it was, but they had a local New Zealand personality being interviewed on a local New Zealand podcast, and I was like, man, it was such a waste of a guest. They didn't ask the questions that I would have wanted answers to.
you
They
would have
didn't-
wanted to listen to.
Yeah. And then you said, hey, I just listened to the same thing. And I thought the same thing too. Man, if I interviewed him, I would have said this. And I was like, then I would have said this. And you said something like, we should actually put our money where our mouth is and do it ourselves. And then I was like, all right, bet. I've never said that in my life, by the way. All right, bet.
Nice.
And so we did. Got some gear together that was laying around in the basement of my church. Learned how to do some recordings. Used some cheap-ass camera phones. Had a whole bunch of misfires at the beginning. The mics weren't recording. The mics were on mute. We played music in the background, and it distorted.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of unreleased episodes that no one will ever see when me and Chris were practicing.
I think it was, bro, and this is not to say we're like super polished and got this down pat, but like how far from that day one is that we use the music in the background because we've not found it difficult, but we were trying to fill in the gaps. Yeah, because we were talking and we were just like, so do you like weather? I guess that's why.
Who is the best Samoan never to make ABs?
Oh,
Who's the best Samoan never to make abs?
I gotta do homework on that one because I don't want to do it injustice. But if I'm just thinking, the best Samoan. Wait a minute.
Manu Tuilangi, Winnie Ato Neil, all the Samoan internationals that never played. Peter Fats was right on the cusp. One of his boys. Oh, I forgot his name.
Maya?
No, sorry. One of the boys from his generation.
Oh.
Lama. He made New Zealand Colts.
Pat Lama?
No.
Sorry.
Didn't he play All Blacks?
He did. And Samoa.
And some All Blacks.
And Michael Jones.
Michael Jones played both.
Yeah.
Frank Barnes played both.
And he played
Inga
Niue.
played both.
Apparently.
He didn't play Niue, he just represents.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Nathan Nixon. I nearly said Nathan Nix. Do people call him Nix for short? It's my mate. I've listened to him for so long, I feel like I can call him Nix.
He probably won't like you, I reckon. If you guys ever met. Based on knowing you and then based on how we know him through the screen and how much he's put out, based on all the little intricacies of his personality, I don't think his will click.
Yeah. I don't think I like him most of the time.
I'm sorry, man.
Especially when he's talking on the radio. Lately, ever since he came back to he's kind of a loose cannon. And he kind of just says and does what he wants.
Bro, that's boss. That's why.
But when he's on the podcast with Nate, he's much more behaved, reins it in a little more. I feel like because he's with the big dogs, and then when he goes back to work, he is the big dog.
That's fair.
Yeah.
True that.
But I'm still trying to think of that guy's name.
Another front row.
No, he was a back, probably a winger. Reminds me of Inga. And I remember him playing, New Zealand New Zealand 15 at the time.
Berryman.
Left, no. Played a little bit of NFL, American football in the States and came back. Jeez, it escapes me. But best Samoan never to make the All Blacks, Lome Fatau. And the best Samoan to make the All Blacks is clearly Christian Cullen and Jonah Lomu. Who's the most underrated Samoan All Black ever? It's from the same person who asked the best Samoan never to make the ABs.
So someone who's cracked it but was super underrated?
I mean, you got Samoan All Blacks that played a few tests. Ben Atinga comes to mind. One?
Not even a whole one.
Not even a whole one. Is overrated to say people like Ice, who came in with massive
Hype.
potential and hype, and then just failed to live up to it. Most underrated of all time.
All
Name
time,
some
that's
All
hard.
Black Samoans.
Benson Stanley.
Benson Stanley, yeah, maybe. How many? He's a winner.
I think he's got maybe 2, 3.
He'd fall in the same line as Rudy Wolf and those cats.
Rudy.
That's an interesting question. Can you be underrated if you make the All Blacks? How
Yeah,
can
true.
you be an underrated All Black?
Yeah, and if you're around for a long time, you're clearly not underrated.
So we're talking about an All Black that wasn't around for a long time because he wasn't rated as well as he should be, which would be
I
all
think that's
those
what they're probably trying to ask.
single-digit test players. It's a very technical question there. I don't even know who sent that, but thank you very much. How do you pick your hosts and why Chris? I think this person's referring to hosts of the podcast, and they're asking particularly why Chris. Bottom left, if you recognize that Instagram handle.
How do you pick and why Chris?
Who's the name?
1AMBIG.
POPPA. Who chose you to be on this podcast? Jesus. And last question of the 22 responses we got. Do you reckon other WWE stars would sell their soul to your cousin Rock? LMAO. I think. Do you know what's happening in the WWE at the moment?
No.
They're calling it Cena's heel turn.
Yep.
The Rock recently on Elimination Chamber or leading up to the Elimination Chamber had I forgot what they call them, but he had a moment on stage with Cody Rhodes and trying to get Cody Rhodes to join The Rock because The Rock's a bad guy at the moment, and trying to get Cody Rhodes to join The Rock. And Cody Rhodes looks like he's about to join. He gets the mic and he goes, Rock, and then tells him to get effed. And the whole like, whoa. And John Cena's like, my man. And then John Cena goes and gives Cody Rhodes the hug, and then The Rock goes. And then John Cena, kicks him in the balls, beats him up, draws blood. Rock rips the blood off his face, wipes it on his belt that says Cody Rhodes' soul on it. Like, it's very dramatic, very theatrical, but John Cena, he's on his final run. He's about to retire, and everyone's just along for the ride. He's the penultimate, he's the good guy of all good guys.
Of all time?
Of all time. And now he's finishing his career as a WWE superstar. And people think, just give him a few good matches and make your money and go. And now he's made potentially the biggest heel turn of all time. And he's now boys with the final boss, which is The Rock. And Travis Carter was there. Travis Scott was there too. Who's Travis Carter?
Kelsey Carter.
Who you think you got? Chelsea Grammer?
Justin Carter.
Was that a good one? Who you think you got?
Who the hell you think?
But thank you very much. Let's give a refresh and see if any came up between then and now. But we've done Ask Me Anything on our Instagram, and these people sent through heaps. Okay, we did get some. Oh. Okay. What are your biggest fears?
What?
What are your biggest fears?
I think we asked this recently, but
Oh, we did too. Yeah,
can
mine was
reiterate.
deep ocean. Deep
No.
dark sea. Oh.
You said some
Not
lame ass,
being able to provide for my family.
some noble ass lame shit like that.
Yeah.
What'd you say though? Deep sea.
Yeah, I'm scared of the deep dark sea. Deep blue sea. When we go to the beach, like I'm absolutely competent in the water. And I can dive in the deepest pool. I can do anything you want.
You can swim. You good?
But when we go to the beach and we go deeper and deeper, as soon as I look down and I can't see my feet, like through the water, I'm tripping balls, man. I'm tripping balls. I don't
Still.
know.
I remember you telling me that years ago.
Might be a stingray lying under the sand.
True
So, you
that.
know, might be a shark swimming. Wow, we had a shark sighting.
Who?
Did I tell you? At Ahipara. When
Oh,
we went
for
up
real?
there. Yeah.
You saw it?
Not me, my missus. So we were playing with the kids on the beach, and Mrs. quickly grabbed the kids, and she was running out of the water, and she goes, "I saw an FIN," and I was like, "NOT, don't worry, it's nothing." And she goes, "No shit, I saw it." And so we got all the kids out because there was no one on the beach; it was just us. So we got all the kids out, and everyone went. And me and my Kingi's brother were looking around, like like we're gonna fight the shark if there was a shark, and there was nothing. And so we came home, and that was it. And then the bro looked up on his Facebook, and it showed the Ahipara spread the news, those local community
Yeah.
pages, and someone was taking a video of the whole thing, saying, "Look, there's a shark in the water over there. Oh, look, I think there's two of them.
How big were they?
This big. I don't know. What do you want?
Were they 5 meters long?
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't see
God
them.
damn.
Yeah. What's your biggest fear?
Sharks.
What took you so long? How many do you have?
No, I don't know if I got any. I think you got to do that. They do that to me. I'm just saying, I'm a slow thinker. That's what I'm saying.
I thought you were scared to catch these hands.
Nah, not at all. I got some noble ass lame ones like my kids and that. There's a standard way. Those standard feels by your kids and all that. But okay.
What about your kids? What do you fear about them? That they'll grow up to be like you?
Sully, should we cut this shit?
No. Next question.
Let's go then.
Next question. Would you rather fight 5 gorilla-sized chickens or 5 chicken-sized gorillas?
Little gorillas all day.
But how strong are the gorillas? Are they...
The scale of the chicken.
Yeah. So when they're the human size, they're the strength of 6 humans. If they're chicken size, are they the strength of 6 chickens?
If that's the scale, then that's fair.
I mean, yeah, definitely. If you feel like the smaller the threat, and the
Bro, one giant chicken will mess you up.
yeah.
They'll mess you up. They're picking.
Can you imagine the chicken thighs on that bitch though?
Oh yeah.
Eh?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, battered,
Oh yeah,
deep
baby.
fried. 11 herbs and spices. Is it 11? 7?
9.
9.
9, 11. I don't even know. I don't even eat that anymore.
Surely give us a funny story.
Oh,
That's what it is. Surely give us a funny story. These are coming through right now.
hey,
Yeah, surely give us a funny story.
do you think they're asking like, come on, surely one of your guys' stories is funny? Give us a funny story.
See, you're doing what I do.
Yeah. I was just trying to reflect.
Don't reflect. Refract. I bet you don't even know that's a word, eh?
No. Clearly not. I don't say things that I don't know the ostomy of.
The colostomy. A funny story. On the 27th of Feb, 1988. Murphy
was born. Murphy was born. That's my birthday, everyone. He was just framing up on this day. This guy's born. Fuck, that was funny ass, bro.
Isn't it?
They did.
Okay.
Nah, that was funny ass.
You read out that question.
How did you meet? Oh yeah. Oh, let me get this. I never get to tell it. So,
Ask the question again. I don't think they heard.
oh, where did you meet? As in,
How did you?
how did you guys meet? So a long time ago, I was in this bar and I met his mom. No, I'm kidding.
Met or mid? What did you say?
Whoa,
I'm just confirming
sorry.
what you said, so I know how to
Oh
react.
wow.
What did you say?
No, sorry.
Should we?
Don't do that. We're related somehow.
Chris's dad and my mum are brother and sister, which makes Chris and I brother and sister, where I'm the brother, he's the sister.
Hey.
Thank you very much for that question. What are your goals? We've done this at the start of the year. How have you been progressing on your goals?
Yeah,
What were they first?
health. Health and wealth, bro. Health and wealth. I'm doing good, bro. Yeah, I haven't decreased or progressed significantly. I'm just still
The
maintaining.
thing I shared recently,
No.
if someone followed you around for a week, would they see how serious you are about your goals? And I was so attacked.
Oh,
Because no, they wouldn't be. But if they came and saw me on Monday, Wednesday and Friday between 9, know what I mean? Then yes.
Yo,
But if they're following me around the clock, hell no.
follow me like 4 days a week in the afternoon for about an hour max.
Yeah. Is that enough time to dedicate to your goals if you truly want to achieve them?
I'm time poor.
Answer the question.
Yes,
It's not, Chris.
it's not.
Okay, I think we caught up. Anything else before we wrap up for the evening?
Oh man, let's wrap it up. I'm getting pretty sweaty up in here. But guys, how about that? 2 baby back boys. Big back, baby back. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back.
I was waiting for you to sign us off.
Oh, yo, everybody, be kind to each other.
Be kind.
All right, look after the kids.
Look after
They're the
all
future.
the kids,
All right.
not just your own.
Yeah. And speak kind words to the Usos. Everyone's trying to be hard these days. Tell them it's okay to be soft. Love you. Goodbye.